Let us proceed for the next topic, colligative properties. Children, the term colligative can be split into two parts, co and legere. Co refers to together, legere refers to bind. Children, this topic is very important for the examination. The properties of solution which depend only on the number of solute particles but independent of nature of a solute are called colligative properties. Children, remember, in order to understand the types of colligative properties which you are going to learn in future, the basic term or the meaning of colligative properties should be learnt by you. That is, the properties of solution which depend only on the number of solute particles but independent of nature of the solute are nothing but colligative properties. Children, there are some conditions. Let us find out the conditions of these colligative properties. Number one, the solute must be non-volatile in nature, and that non-volatile solute in solution should obey the Raoult's law. Second point, the colligative properties depend on the type of solvent. That is, a non-volatile solute dissolved in water and alcohol shows different colligative properties. Third point, the concept of colligative property is applicable only to the very dilute solutions. That is, a dilute solution where solute should be very less or negligible in quantity and solvent should be in large quantity. Children, and the fourth point is very important. The non-volatile solute must not associate or dissociate in solution, because in the solution, if the solute dissociate, then number of solute particles increases in that, and if the solute particle associate, then the number decreases in the solution, and then the solution shows abnormal behavior. That is why the solute must not associate or dissociate in the solution. And the fifth and last property or the condition of colligative property is colligative property is directly proportional to molality. In other words, any property which is directly proportional to molality is a colligative property. I'll repeat again. Any property which is directly proportional to molality is a colligative property. Children, in this chapter you are going to learn 4 different type of colligative properties. Let me write on the board. Number 1, the relative lowering of vapor pressure. What is that? Relative lowering of vapor pressure, which is also called RLVP. RLVP. Second one, elevation in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point. Third one, depression in freezing point. And the last one, that is osmotic pressure. What is that? Osmotic pressure. Children, these are the 4 different types of colligative properties which have been prescribed in your syllabus and very important for the examination. Remember, in this chapter you are going to get one numerical, and the numerical may be asked on any one of the colligative property. And that is why I'm stressing again and again, the colligative properties topic is very, very important for the examination. Let me take up the first one, the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Children, let me take up the first colligative property, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Consider a binary mixture of a non-volatile solute B in a volatile solvent A in a closed beaker. In this solution, now the surface is occupied by both the solvent A molecules as well as the solvent B molecules. Children, as solvent A molecules are volatile in nature, they get evaporated and goes into vapor phase. Whereas solute B molecules, which are non-volatile, they cannot escape out. Remember, the vapor pressure which is created here on the solution is solely depends on the solvent A molecules which are volatile in nature. That means when a non-volatile solute is dissolved in a volatile solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution is always lower than that of the pure solvent. Let us take Ga as mole fraction of solvent A and Gb as mole fraction of solute B, Pa naught as vapor pressure of pure solvent A, and Ps is the vapor pressure of solution containing a non-volatile solute in a volatile solvent. Children, since the solute is a non-volatile, there is no contribution of a solute to the vapor pressure of the solution, and therefore the vapor pressure of the solution depends only on the mole fraction of solvent. That means by adding a non-volatile solute to a pure volatile solvent resulted in decrease in vapor pressure. This phenomenon of resulting in decrease in lowering of vapor pressure is called lowering of vapor pressure. What do you call this? Lowering of vapor pressure due to the addition of a non-volatile solute into a volatile solvent. Now I can write, look at here, Pa naught minus Ps is equal to lowering of vapor pressure. Is it not? Children, Raoult's law for a solution of non-volatile solute in volatile solvent can be stated as, at a given temperature, the vapor pressure of the solution containing a non-volatile solute is equal to the product of vapor pressure of the pure solvent and its mole fraction. In that case, children, look at here, according to Raoult's law, what does it say? That Ps is equal to Pa naught into Ga. I'll repeat again. According to Raoult's law, at a given temperature, the vapor pressure of the solution containing a non-volatile solute in volatile solvent is equal to the product of vapor pressure of the pure solvent and its mole fraction. Hope you understand that. Children, you know that for a binary solution, the sum of the mole fraction of all the components is equal to 1. In that case, what do? Look at here, Ga plus Gb is equal to 1. Is it not? Now, this is for the solvent and this is for the solute. Now, Ga is equal to, what I write? 1 minus Gb. Now I'll substitute the value of this here. What I got get, look at here, PS is equal to PA naught into 1 minus GB, or PS is equal to PA naught into, minus PA naught into GB. Otherwise, look at here, PA naught minus PS upon PA naught is equal to GB. What is that? GB is equal to PA naught minus PS upon PA naught. What is this factor? This is nothing but relative lowering of vapor pressure. Remember, PA naught minus PS is equal to lowering of vapor pressure, and PA naught minus PS upon PA naught is equal to relative lowering of vapor pressure. That you need to remember. Is it not? Children, this is nothing but relative lowering of vapor pressure. Remember, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of the solute when solute alone is volatile. I'll repeat again. The relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of the solute when solvent alone is volatile in nature. So this you need to remember. Children, determination of molecular mass of a solute by using relative lowering of vapor pressure. Remember, a numerical may be asked under this topic in the board examination. Let W be gram of a non-volatile solute of molar mass Mb is dissolved in WA grams of a non-volatile solvent of molar mass Ma. That means, look at here, WB grams of non-volatile solute of molar mass Mb is dissolved in WA grams of volatile solvent of molar mass Ma. Children, if I want to put in terms of mole fraction, remember, mole fraction of solute, what is that? Gb is equal to, you know the definition, number of moles of a solute upon number of moles of all the components present in that solution. Is it not? Where Na is nothing but number of moles of solvent, Nb is nothing but number of moles of solute. Children, you know that how to find out the moles, that is given mass upon molar mass. Suppose, look at here, Na is equal to Wa upon Ma, and Nb is equal to Wb upon Mb, nothing but given mass upon molar mass of a component. That gives you the, what you call this, number of moles. Children, for dilute solutions, the number of moles of solute is very negligible when compared to number of moles of solvent, because it is taken in large quantity. So what do I do for dilute solutions? Look at here. Na plus Nb approximately is equal to, say it is Na only. Why? Because number of moles of solute is taken in very negligible amount when compared to number of moles of solvent. Is it not? Now, children, now Gb is equal to Nb upon Na plus Nb. I will take it as Na only. Is it not? Now, substitute the value here. Look at here. Gb is equal to, what is Nb here? Nb is Wb upon Mb upon, look at here, Wa upon Ma. I'll simplify that. Wb into Ma upon Wa into Mb. This is Gb. Is it not? But earlier you learned that Pa naught minus Ps upon Pa naught is equal to Gb. What is this? This is nothing but relative lowering of vapor pressure. Our solution is equal to mole fraction of the solute. You understand or not? That is why, look at here, in this case, Pa naught minus Ps upon Pa naught is equal to Wb into Ma upon Wa into Mb. This can also be written. Otherwise, look at here, what is this? Nothing but relative lowering of vapor pressure. That is equal to Wb into Ma upon Wa into Mb. Now what is this? Nothing but molality. Is it not? This is nothing but molality. That means RLVP is directly proportional to molality. I said in the beginning, under the condition, any property which is directly proportional to molality, it should be taken as colligative property. Now look at here, RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure, is directly proportional to molality. So RLVP is a colligative property. The second colligative property is elevation in boiling point. Children, if anybody asks you what is meant by boiling point, you would define the minimum temperature at which liquid starts boiling is called boiling point. Remember, that is age-old definition. We need to define the boiling point in terms of vapor pressure. The temperature at which the vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure is called boiling point. I repeat, the boiling point of a liquid is the temperature at which vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Children, you know that when a non-volatile solute is added into volatile solvent, the vapor pressure of a solution decreases in comparison to vapor pressure of the pure solvent. Is it not? Children, in order to increase the vapor pressure of the solution, you need to heat the solution to a higher temperature so that its vapor pressure becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Thus, the boiling point of the solution is always higher than that of the boiling point of the pure solvent. Let TB naught as boiling point of pure solvent TB as boiling point of solution. Is it not? Please look at in this graph. This is what the solvent graph, this is what the solution graph. You can see the vapor pressure of solution has decreased when compared to the solvent here. And that is why I need to heat that, so that vapor pressure of the solution becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. Children, the difference of TB and TB naught is nothing but delta TB here. So delta TB is equal to, what I write here? TB minus TB naught. What is TB here? TB is nothing but boiling point of the solution. What is TB naught? Boiling point of the pure solvent. The increase in the boiling point of the solution due to the addition of a non-volatile solute is called elevation in boiling point. I'll repeat again. The increase in the boiling point of the solution due to the addition of a non-volatile solute is called elevation in boiling point. Children, it has been experimentally proved that elevation in boiling point, that is nothing but delta TB. What is delta TB here? Elevation in boiling point of a solution is directly proportional to molality. What is that? Directly proportional to molality of the solution. I'll repeat again. It has been experimentally proved that elevation in boiling point is directly proportional to molality of the solution, otherwise molar concentration of the solution. Hence, elevation in boiling point is a colligative property. Tell me why? In the condition I told, any property which is directly proportional to molality to be considered as a colligative property. Now, your delta TB, nothing but elevation in a boiling point is a directly proportional to molality, so it has to be considered as colligative property. Children, look at here. In order to remove this proportionality sign, I'm going to put on constant. Look at here, delta TB is equal to KB into M, where KB is a constant called ebullioscopic constant. It's also called molar elevation constant. Children, look at here. If M is equal to 1, that means molality is equal to 1. How do you get M is equal to 1? If 1 mole of a non-volatile solute is dissolved in 1000 grams of 1 kg of solvent, then the molality will become 1. If M is equal to 1, look at here, delta TB is equal to KB. Now tell me, how do you define ebullioscopic constant? Children, ebullioscopic constant is defined as the elevation in boiling point caused by dissolving 1 mole of a non-volatile solute in 1000 grams or 1 kg of the solvent. Otherwise, the elevation in boiling point for 1 molar concentration of solution is called ebullioscopic constant. Remember, the unit of ebullioscopic constant is very important, Kelvin, kg per mole. This you need to remember. Why? Because you are going to solve some of the numericals later. Children, elevation in boiling point can be used for the determination of molar mass of any non-volatile solute which is dissolved in a volatile solvent. Now, let W be the mass in grams of a non-volatile solute. MB is nothing but molar mass of solute. Wa is mass in grams of volatile solvent. We know that molality is equal to Wb upon Mb into 1000 upon Wa. This you already learnt in the first lecture of the chapter. Children, you know this. Delta Tb is equal to Kb into M, molality. So delta Tb is equal to Kb into M. What do? I'll substitute the value of M in this equation. So delta Tb is equal to Kb into Wb into 1000 upon Mb into Wa. This expression is used for determination of molar mass of non-volatile solute present in the volatile solvent. The third colligative property is depression in freezing point, DFP. Children, freezing point is defined as the temperature at which the vapor pressure of a liquid is equal to the vapor pressure of the corresponding solid. I'll repeat. The temperature at which the vapor pressure of a liquid is equal to the vapor pressure of the corresponding solid is called freezing point. Children, you know that addition of a non-volatile solute into a volatile solvent lowers the vapor pressure of the solvent. Hence, the solid form separates out at a lower temperature. Depression in freezing point is nothing but the decrease in a freezing point when a non-volatile solute is added into volatile solvent. Children, let us understand the depression in freezing point with the help of a graph. Look at here. Let Tf0 be the freezing point of a pure solvent and Tf be the freezing point of the solution. And the difference here in a freezing point, that is delta Tf, is given as, look at here, delta Tf is equal to Tf0 minus Tf. So this is what do you call this? Depression in freezing point, where delta Tf is depression in freezing point. What is that? Depression in freezing point. Hope you understand this. When you add a non-volatile solute into volatile solvent, the vapor pressure of the solution decreases. Because of that, the freezing point of solution decreases. And that decrease in freezing point of the solvent containing non-volatile solute is nothing but depression in freezing point, which can be given in the mathematical expression delta Tf is equal to Tf0 minus Tf. Children, it has been experimentally proved and determined that depression in freezing point of the solution is directly proportional to molar concentration of the solution. What is this molar concentration? Nothing but molality. In other words, delta Tf, that is depression in freezing point, is directly proportional to molality, otherwise molar concentration. Children, let me introduce a constant in order to remove this proportionality sign. Now I'll introduce what is that? Kf into m. This is what the mathematical expression for depression in freezing point. Remember, what is this Kf? Children, Kf is nothing but cryoscopic constant, otherwise called molar depression constant. What is Kf? Kf is molar depression constant, otherwise cryoscopic constant. What do you call this? Cryoscopic constant. Children, look at here. If m is equal to 1, that means molality is equal to 1. That means 1 mole of a non-water solute is dissolved in 1 kg or 1000 grams of solvent, gives you 1 molar solution. If m is equal to 1, please look at here, delta Tf is equal to m. Now, how to define this molar depression constant, otherwise called cryoscopic constant? Children, cryoscopic constant, otherwise a molar depression constant, is defined as the depression in a freezing point caused by dissolving 1 mole of non-volatile solute in 1000 grams or 1 kg of the solvent. In other words, the depression in freezing point for 1 molar solution is called cryoscopic constant, and the unit is Kelvin kg per mole. This is very important. Again, the unit is very important because you are going to solve some of the numerical on this depression in freezing point. Children, let me go for the determination of molar mass by using what? Depression in freezing point. Children, if WB grams of solute of molar mass MB is dissolved in WA grams of solvent, then molality can be given as, look at here, M is equal to WB upon MB into 1000 upon WA. What is W here? WB here? Mass of non-volatile solute. What is this MB? Molar mass of non-volatile solute. What is WA? Mass of volatile solvent. This you already learnt in the first lecture of this lesson. Is it not? Children, look at here. You know that depression in freezing point is equal to Kf into molality. This is experimentally determined, is it not? Now I substitute the value of m here. How to do that? Please look at here. Delta Tf is equal to Kf into Wb into 1000 upon Mb into Wa. By using this expression, we can easily find out the molar mass of a substance or a solute.